So there's a new trendy phrase that's circulating around TikTok and social media called our stress languages. So what is it? And let's get into it. Hi, I'm Jessica Gaddy, a licensed clinical therapist, providing you with education and tips to help you along your mental health and wellness journey. So what are stress languages? Stress languages is clinically referred to our body's trauma response system. When we experience or re-experience trauma or severe stress, there's two main systems at play: our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. When we experience a potential threat, the sympathetic nervous system becomes dysregulated, which is what we often know as our fight or flight response. Meaning when we experience a threat or re-experience a traumatic trigger, our body's automatic response is to want to respond to the threat, and our body prepares to either fight or run from the situation. When the threat is reduced, our parasympathetic nervous system helps our bodies regulate, rest, and recover. In everyday situations like having a tight work deadline, running late to pick up the kids, or maybe feeling the pressure of school and other responsibilities, these responses can sometimes be helpful, helping us operate more effectively under pressure. In these situations, our body's parasympathetic nervous system is able to recover a bit more quickly because the threat or the intensity of the situation is temporary. However, in situations of chronic or extreme distress, our response may become more intense and sustained, which can have an adverse effect on our long-term physical and mental health. So let's get into the 4 types of trauma responses. In a fight response, we might address the situation a bit more aggressively, having a heightened physical reaction or behavior, such as shouting, arguing, or even physical aggression. Whereas a flight response may look like the urge to escape a situation, avoid, withdraw, panic, or even become fidgety or restless. However, 2 other common responses that often get left out of the conversation are our freeze response and our fawn response. Freeze response in triggering situations may look like dissociation, zoning out, feeling immobile, or physically and emotionally numb. Sometimes it's difficult to move and you feel like your body just tenses up. Many times it may become difficult to speak, make decisions, concentrate, or you might even find yourself holding your breath. This is often linked to high levels of anxiety and trauma, commonly seen as a reported response by those who experience sexual assault or intimate partner violence. Lastly, another common response is the fawn response, which refers to our inclination to become more acquiescent or submissive to the stress, the threat, or an individual that might feel dangerous. This is common among survivors of emotional or physical abuse, where it may be safer to agree and appease the aggressor than fighting back. You may have heard the saying, the body keeps the score, which means that sometimes when we don't want to remember the trauma, our bodies do. So it's important to recognize the physical responses to trauma just as much as we recognize the emotional response. Remember that parasympathetic nervous system that helps us rest, regulate, and recover? It's important that we are regularly engaging activities that help regulate our parasympathetic nervous system, especially incorporating our bodies. So this could look like exercise, dance, swimming, anything that engages movement. Things like mindfulness and meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing, and of course, consulting with a mental health professional can help you recognize the different signs and symptoms, as well as giving you tips and tools to help cope with the stressors in the moment. A licensed mental health professional will be able to maybe see things that you don't and help equip you with tools for the ongoing journey. If you need any tips, I have some recommendations and resources in the caption below. And feel free to check out some of the other videos that help you with signs, symptoms, and treatment for different mental health conditions.